We are told that Iron Age was ushered in India by invading Aryans in 1500 BCE, whether it is N.R. Banerjee 65 or Tiwari in 2003, they talk about iron. However, this news item came out in 2015, and Professor K.P. Rao, he found several artifacts, knives and blades in Telangana, and he sent it off to a lab in Hyderabad for testing, luminescence testing, and the range was 1800 to 2400 BCE. That is the date of iron in Telangana. And I've just put the date as 2200 over here. So this completely invalidates the idea that iron was invented somewhere in Central Asia and they made swords and they were better than Bronze Age swords and they came and overwhelmed the civilization. This is evidence that proves otherwise over here. Other paradox, we already talked about this. We are told Aryans brought horse and chariots to India. And we are also shown, if you remember David Wood's documentary on India, he shows this chariot burial, 4,000-year-old chariot burial in Georgia, and he claims that because there is a chariot on the way to India, he claims that is how this proof that Aryans came to India. However, now you have not one, not two. They found maybe 10 to 15 pit burials with chariots in them, with Bronze Age weapons also in them. So that completely overturns this false thinking over here. And here also is a Harappa bronze in the National Museum, 2000 BCE. This is also dated around 2000 BCE. This is a very interesting paper. So this came out in May 2018 in Current Science from Institute of Paleosciences in Lucknow. These are the professors. And they found evidence of paddy cultivation in the Ganga plain dating back to the Holocene era. So their date comes to around 9,000 years ago, but Holocene is actually from 12,000 years ago. This completely invalidates a claim that agriculture was invented in Turkey in 6500 BCE and spread to India. Because you're seeing paddy itself in India in this time frame, according to this paper. This is a very interesting paper. This is from Dr. Premendra Priyadarshi. He called this out. This is in genome biology, I think in 2007. And the researcher there wanted to find out where is the genomic ancestor of all the house mice, where is it from? And to their surprise, they found the ancestor of the mice is in India. And it goes back to 12,000 years. So it's from India to Madagascar, India to Northern Africa, India to Western Europe, to China, to Southeast China, Southeast Asia, all these places. It's from India, it goes there. Why is it relevant? Because we know that mice go where there is paddy. You store paddy in your storeroom, mice are going to come. And as agriculture is going to the rest of the world, mice scamper along and go along with the paddy. Right? So it is very, very interesting to correlate this data point, and this researcher has got nothing to do with this researcher, and look at these two side by side, and it seems to say agriculture also was invented in India, and you look at the genome of mice, it's telling a strong story too. So once again we come to the same conclusion that we did last year. There's no change in that with science. Aryan invasion theory is false. Archaeology shows ancient artifacts that predate the invasion period, north, west, south, central India. We are seeing a human continuum for 1 million years, at least in India. Genetic evidence of great antiquity of the Indian people. The empty DNA markers and RNA show robust presence in India. Then I also put this box over here for this year to say, what is our internal evidence? Is there any internal evidence? Remember, we are a secular people and we don't consider internal evidence. So anyway, let's take a look at what it says. Is there any support for migrations or any such thing? And it says the Vedas and Puranas talk about the Anu and the Drihyu. These are Vedic tribes. And they are supposed to have migrated out of India. And there are some people who say that migration was from Punjab to Gandhara area. This evidence is ignored. This evidence is there in Bhagavata Purana, Vishnu Purana, Vayu Purana, Brahmanda Purana, Matsya Purana, as well as Rig Veda. All these verses are all talking about a migration. It's not just in one Purana. Many of them are talking about it. But we don't care about this, right? So I'm bringing up the proposition, if this migration would have happened around 9,000 years ago, Could that account for the data point that is seen in Risch's work, where he's saying that there is ancient Iranian farmer DNA in India? He got the direction wrong. Maybe the direction is this side. Maybe that's what it is. And then later on, the drying up of Saraswati in 2000 BC or so resulted in outward migration. We know about the Hittites, Mitannis, who spoke Sanskrit and so on. Egypt, the Hyksos people, who were supposed to have been isolated in their culture, till that the Nubians were there and other such people. Suddenly these people appear on the scene, and people are thinking they were Indians who went over there. Maybe this can account for genetic closeness to Central Asia in addition. The 4,000 years ago, when you see there's genetic content there, again, the direction is wrong. Maybe the direction is this way. So I'm just calling that out. So maybe if I had access to the data, I as a mathematician would love to have a model that says out of India, 2 time frames during the Rig Vedic period and during this period, drying up of Saraswati, and fit the data that we have. I'm willing to bet it'll be a beautiful fit with no contradictions. So, however, nobody does that because people are funded by NSF, National Science Foundation, and other such things. They can't give a proposal, research proposal that says, I'm going to have outlandish theory of out of India. So the only thing they can say is, I'm fitting it with the known PIE, Proto-Indo-European theory, and I'm going to validate that. That will get funded. This is not going to get funded. So researchers have got constraints too in what they take for these things. But I really wish some Indic scholars will take this up and study this. Might show some very interesting things.